Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited to have you guys back and even more excited to introduce to you this new episode of a new series we are doing on this channel, and it is called the Bible Breakdown. So what is the Bible Breakdown? So basically we're going to be introducing all the various books in the Bible, and we're going to be breaking them down. So we're going to talk about the authors, we're going to talk about who wrote the book, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. And the first book we're going to be talking about obviously is the book of Genesis. Now the book of Genesis has a huge storyline. It covers various topics, various genealogies, but we are going to talk about most of them, I hope. So let's just continue on. So in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. That is how the book of Genesis starts, and that is basically what the first 11 chapters of the Bible is about, creation. So there's a lot of different things that happen. There's obviously creation, there's the fall of man, of Eden, the Garden of Eden. We have the first murder. We have so many things that happen. So let's just go ahead and discuss that. Okay, so first and foremost, let's talk about the writer of the book of Genesis. The writer of the book of Genesis was Moses. Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible, and those 5 books are called the Pentateuch. I'm not sure how to say it, honestly, so I'm just going to put it somewhere on the screen because my pronunciation for this word is terrible. He was a Hebrew lawgiver, and as well as writing the book of Genesis, he wrote the other 5 books as we spoke of. And he wrote the book to address all of mankind. So not just me, not just you, but everyone as a whole. And that's pretty neat, right? Like there's one book in the Bible that was dedicated to everyone. So now, if you guys see me looking down, it's because I have notes and I want to make sure I say everything correctly, okay? So let's just try to get through me looking down and looking to side, all right? Let's continue. All right, so there are 50 chapters. There's 1,533 verses in the book of Genesis. And Genesis introduces the 4 books of Moses and the 4 other books of Moses, and also introduces the entire Bible. Now, the purpose of the book of Genesis is to set the stage of the redemption and the coming of Christ. So like we talked about in the devotional video on Tuesday, there's so many things that point to the cross, which is pretty neat if you look back and read certain chapters that maybe you haven't noticed that before. Now it also additionally it sets up the character and the acts of God. So basically who our God is. This is the first time that we're seeing things that he has done, the way he's treating or going through with his promises to man. And it also talks about the need of man and the revelation of the coming of Christ. All right, so the first 11 chapters have to do with creation. It's basically the prequel to the rest of the book of Genesis. And the first thing we can talk about is creation. So we have God creating the heavens and the earth, stars, sun, the sky, the stars. Did I say that already? And then creating the first man and eventually creating the first woman, right? So that's basically where it all begins. And then we have Adam, we have Eve. We have the first sin that happens where Eve is basically tricked by the serpent to eat the apple, and Adam eats the apple, and then that's when we have the first sin, and then we have kind of like a rebellion going on between man and God, and we have that first separation. So the fall of man, that's the first fall of man, I would say. As a result, they lose their home. God takes away the Garden of Eden, which is a perfect holy place, right? And so he takes that away. And in turn, he casts them out to a different land, and they lose their fellowship with God. And I'm going to put a specific verse down there to support that. Additionally, we see the first murder. So Cain murdering Abel. We see the first curse. God places a curse upon Cain. And we also see, obviously, like the first death, and also just redemption in certain areas that I guess if you look over. So after the fall of man, we have the flood. Now the flood was caused because of the wickedness in men. And God was, I would say, just kind of like fed up with it. And it was like, you know what, like I've given you plenty of opportunities, but there's so much wickedness in this earth that, you know what, it's just not worth keeping around. So he destroys everything. He only saves Noah and his family and the 2 of each kind for the animals. And that is what the flood is about. And eventually he gives them land once again. They go onto land and they repopulate. There's a specific verse that says that, so I will put everything down there. Want to make sure we're supporting everything we're saying, right? Then we have the Tower of Babel, and that's where we see the first, I would say, fatal flaws of man. We see the lack of humility. We see pride. We see men trying to reach God. and by creating the tower. Now, I'm not specifically sure if they were creating the tower to go up into the like literal heaven, or if they were trying to get a vantage point, because I remember a preacher talking about that, and I will try to put some information about it either in the video and description box, because I want to make sure I make that clear. But so yeah, man tries to create a tower to go into the heavens, and God like knocks it down. Like, obviously, dude, you're not doing this. And so he knocks the tower down, knocks the people down. They scatter, their languages scatter, and so do the people. So that's kind of how we have the development of languages, which is neat, because if you actually look into the scientific background of language, we see that most linguists agree that there was one original language, and then from there we got a bunch of different languages. So just saying, Jesus, God, hello. Anyways, let's continue. I digress. All right, guys, well, that is going to be the end of this video. I try to keep it very short, simple, and sweet, so you guys don't have to push through a whole video about Genesis. I'm trying to keep these videos nice and sweet. We are going to continue this series, and we're going to go a little bit more in depth, talk about the next part of the book of Genesis, and as well as maybe touch on some other things that we didn't touch on completely on this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm very excited. Tuesday we have another devotional video. I hope you guys stick around. I got a lot of positive feedback for this last video, which I wasn't expecting, so thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I'm so grateful to have you guys and for all the support I've been getting on this channel. So please don't forget to rate the video, like the video, comment on the video. Please, I'd like to know what you guys are thinking, your suggestions. If anything was at all helpful, please just let it be known. If you have any suggestions for videos, let me know. Also, share the video. I haven't been saying that on the past videos, which I'm like, duh. People, share the video if you want. If you feel like this would be helpful to someone else, please share the video, let it be known. So yeah, thank you for all the support on Facebook, Instagram. I'm going to put my Instagram information down below just in case you are not following me, even though YouTube says that most of my viewers are coming from Instagram, which is pretty neat. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome. God bless you all, and have a great, fantastic day. Bye. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to get some thumbnails, okay? I'm not that cute. Oh, Kimmy, I'm using your cup. If you're watching this video, just know I'm using your cup.